Okay, give me one sec. Okay, I'll try that after. Cool. It works. Right on. Does my mic work? Does my mic work? What was I gonna do? I was gonna plant grass in that area, but I'm gonna wait. So what I can do is, alrighty, we got a buck. Gonna try something here. See if this works. Yeah, baby. Why is my phone not charging? What the hell's going on here? Technical difficulties. I should probably disconnect one of those. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to figure out Streamlabs. Just give me one sec here. I'm still trying to set up everything here. Bear with me. Shit. Okay. Sounds like a personal problem. But no. It's never a personal problem. It's only a personal problem if you make it a personal problem. Okay. I got all this space to put a shop. So what I could do is I'm glad I got my computer to work. Thank effing God. Now, I don't know if this one's got the repair thing that I want. Oh, this should. I can't remember if this is the one that. Whoopsies. I don't think that's where I wanted to put it. I wanted to put it more over. So guess what? No. Sell. Yes. It okay. I want it kind of over here more. And then what I could do is I'm going to grab this. And we are going to go like this. We are going to go like this. Now, I don't know if this is the repair shop or what. I haven't played around in this damn thing. Let's see here. Can't remember if this has the repair shop. Hey. Oh, there's a tree in the background. Oh, that's just to... Okay. This is just like a storage shop. Okay, I don't want this shop. Change the plans. Change my mind. Let's get rid of that big hunk of thing for now. No. I should have knocked that other tree down. That's what I should have did. Whoa, what game in a while? What game is that, may I ask? Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, on PC. I haven't played it that long. Okay. I was like, what? What you talking about, Willis? I can't remember if this one had... I don't know if this one had what I was looking for, but... I'm gonna have to figure this out because I thought this one had... Okay, I'm gonna look in this shop. Let's see here. Now that I got kind of StreamYards figured out, I just gotta figure out the rest. How to bring the camera up when I'm gaming. I'm still figuring out my other streaming thing. It didn't like me. No, this ain't the shop that I want either. Nope, not the shop I want. Which shop is it? There's a shop that you... Well, looks like I'm gonna do this one. Screw it. I'll get the bigger ones later. Hey, that's what she says. She likes them big. Yes, she does. She likes them big. So that's what she says. Okay, well, I guess we got a bunch of farming to do. Okay, well, I need... The hell is that? Oh. Medium workshop. Maybe this is the one that has... I think this is the one. But... We're gonna go with any one of these guys. And then I need... For now, we're just gonna get a little shit banging skid. Little fuel thing here. Where do I want to put it? For now, we'll just stick it right here. Sure, we'll stick it next to the house. What's the worst that can happen? Blow up? Probably. Okay, I need some... We need some silos, some grain silos. Oh, what do we got? We got Westbury, Weststeel. We can go with these Weststeels, I guess. They're a little dinky, but hey, we're starting out small. That's what she says. I don't know how the fuck I want to put this. That's a bigger silo. What are we at? 27,000. 38,000. Almost $1 million for that. Oh no, that's... Never mind, what am I talking about? Sure, we'll put a couple of these. Maybe one small one. They're not even lined up. Good enough. Okay. Got our things. We need to grab fertilizer. Don't put the fertilizer with that. You're really asking them. Fuck shit up. Put the fertilizer bin right here. Lime, sure. Or actually, we're gonna get rocks and do lime with the rocks. But right now, screw it. What's this? Rolled salt. I need one with seeds. Why does that one seem so far? What the fuck, man? What the hell are you doing to me, man? I guess that's where she wants to be. That's okay. Okay. I need a cheap combine. Nothing expensive. Just a cheap. Okay. We need to get rid of this tractor. So we will send it back to turn it. And I'm almost flat as broke. We need the truck. 26,000. No ladder. No, don't need. Change the color. Change the color. Very good. We are gonna buy that. And then back. And then we're gonna buy. I need it. There's my old combine right there. Come here, Betsy. Come here, Betsy. Oh, I'm gonna get old Betsy here. And we need to get a pickup header. No, we don't need that right now. We do need... we do need these. How big is that bad boy? Okay. Right. Okay. Back. We need a header trailer for it. So we need a header trailer. Header trailer. Shit, how big was that? I think it was this one. But I could be wrong. I'm gonna go yellow. No, it's the darker yellow. I think that's yellow. Alrighty. Need to go put some fuel in this thing. Oh. Sure. We'll just buy that for now. And then we're gonna go and buy... Oh, I know what we need to buy. We need to buy some old tractors. Some old girls. There's a old girl, but I want the other old girl. Where is it? Thought I had it like a case or something. That's so messy. Oh yeah, I do right here. Not loader attachment. I and we need another tractor. So we gotta go for another old school girl. Michelin, wide tire, standard, curved, short bite. Put a weight on her. Okay. Now we gotta watch money. Oh, what am I doing? Actually, no, I don't need that right now. Oh yeah. Hey, Rocket. What's happening, Rocket? Rocket, Rocket. Pretty much almost nailed the color of the combine. Shut that down. Grab this old girl. Oops. Today we're gonna rock the boat. Old school mixed with some new school. That real life, this old girl wouldn't be able to handle that header. Thanks, man. I'm trying out a new stream and I'm trying SteamYard or Streamlabs. I get StreamYards and Streamlabs wrong. The other streaming thing that I used is no longer around anymore. Well, it's around, it's just more complicated. I think I should have grabbed the bigger header trailer. For some odd reason, I think this one is just, well, maybe it might work. Try that out. Whoa, what the fuck am I doing? Go reverse, dummy. That's not on there straight. Enough for its little adventure. take this little girl home. Come on, Betsy. Good night, Rocket. Thanks for stopping by. Jesus. Hey, dude. I'm trying to go here. You fucking mind? Move it or lose it. Pick a choice. Alright, well, these assholes are trying to go at the same time as me. I'm bigger than you. Get out of here. Run your asses over with my antique. Good night, Rocket. Cruise control. I was gonna start there, but never mind. That gate is not facing the correct way. I'm gonna have to fix that. Not this round, don't got enough money. Oh, I forgot the 4 ways. Actually, these tractors can just stay here. I don't need them at this point in time. I'll just move them out of the way, though. I really don't need them right now. I'll just sit over here with these old girls. Yo, 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 what's up, 88 Shades of Sparkle? What's up? How's it going? I'm gonna get this to my combine because I gotta start harvesting my crops. Well, that's all that matters. At least you're chilling. I'm just playing some farming. I finally got a streaming app to work. Still working out a couple kinks. I'm trying Streamlabs. I'm still trying to figure out how to bring up my webcam and all that. But there's still some stuff to figure out. Whoa. Goddamn fucking phone. I didn't even know this trailer had a beacon. Alright, we have beacons now. I'm all over the road and I don't give a shit. Oh shit. Hey, I missed the sign. That counts. Whoops. equipment. The old dinosaur. That old dinosaur combine. to listen to a documentary, Elena, if you're all back? Anybody? Anyone want to listen to a documentary? Documentary. People are in the house watching.
The kitchen was extremely messy, with dirty dishes rendering the space nearly unusable. The bathrooms were an even worse mess, with mold growing on the tile around the shower and bathtub. There was no running water, and the toilets were backed up. Portable toilets had been placed around the residence to compensate, though it appeared that none had been emptied recently as they were completely filled with waste. Needless to say, the house didn't pass inspection, but the evidence which would take the case from simply concerning to truly horrific was yet to be found. licensed clinical psychologist, a licensed attorney, a former detective, a licensed polygraph examiner, and a former hostage negotiation commander and instructor.
Like I told you on the phone, we just want to do some follow-up and kind of do status and stuff like that. First and foremost, you're here voluntary.
Yes.
Okay, you said you have an attorney. Do you still want to speak with us?
It's fine.
Okay.
That's your arrest too.
The officers read Cinna her Miranda rights, though she wasn't under arrest. Little did the officers know Cinna was hiding more than one shocking secret, and she wasn't the only one listening in on this conversation.
How's everything going since?
I've just been working.
Not
I
working?
moved out of the house.
You moved out?
Yes, I moved out.
Do you live there anymore? You still have a relationship with Amy? You guys today? What was the reason for that relationship?
I lost my kids. I don't have anything broken.
In the past, Cinna had also been in contact with CYFD due to conflicts with her older stepdaughter. This, combined with the horrors uncovered in Cushman's house, resulted in Cinna losing custody of her children. The police also took this opportunity to ask what she knew of Cushman's children. Cinna explained that RK and CK were Cushman's sisters' biological children, but Cushman had taken custody soon after they were born. AB wasn't related to Cushman and had been placed with her by CYFD years ago when Cushman lived in Texas.
How old was you when you got
Jane got him recently, I think.
3? And he's 11 now? Wow.
With her. Yes.
With her?
Yes. I've only been living with Jamie since I've been in college. I've officially living there, moved in since I launched.
This year?
I haven't,
In an exclusive interview with Ewu, a victim of Jamie Cushman named Jamie McDaniel shared there was some confusion on how AB came to be in Cushman's custody.
So how she was able to bring another child into the home, no idea. But Texas was like, hey, this kid needs help. Take it. She didn't go through the formal CPS. It was a phone call. Hey, I'm getting taken to jail. Will you come get my kid? Cushman said, yeah, you're right there. CPS let her leave with him. That was the end of it. Sweetest kid. He was loving. Oh my gosh. He wanted to be held. He wanted to be held. And of course, Cushman always wanted a boy. So at first, this was like answer to her prayers. He got everything he wanted. He got his own room. We bought so many clothes and toys for this kid. Very, very quickly, the problems became too much for her. He was defiant. He wouldn't potty train correctly. He wanted to eat all the time. So when he got to this house where she was willing to give him anything and everything he wanted, of course he's going to eat all the time. He's a kid. He's not going to stop and think, oh, well, maybe this is too much. So he would eat to the point where he made himself sick. Well, Cushman was like, no, that's not good. So all of a sudden he was being punished. Nobody checked on him, not one time. Not one time from the time he got to our home in Barwell till when he got picked up. Not one time did someone come to visit him and be like, hey, you're not even supposed to be in this state. Hey, you're not even supposed to be with this woman. That was never brought up. Tell me how a whole state lost this child.
Worse, according to McDaniel, Cushman had already been reported to CPS at the time she got custody of AB. This was massively worrying, especially considering what police knew about how AB had been treated. Cinna might have been a recent addition to the house, but police suspected that she could be hiding more than one dark secret. They would uncover exactly what it was during their interview.
Like a full year, everyone has, all the kids have the same amount of food.
every dinner, every lunch, every meal, we had every single food. Like, we had, those little trays that we had online, we had the food.
Yeah, sections.
Yeah, all of those were always fun.
How was the discipline situation?
There was always redirect, I got told them where it was redirect, over and over and over, time out to the room, and if it ended up screwing or kicking or fighting, then they get a mistaken, but not harm, not excessive, not like, oh my gosh,
Who would you do this to?
Jamie.
Would you do this? What kind of discipline would you do?
timelines.
Timelines.
And every once
So
in
what's-
a while, yes, I did. Obviously, when my son, if he started kicking and screaming, I would pat him to his room.
Though Senna portrayed what she thought was a rather favorable image of the children at home, the appalling reality was a far cry from it. This truth surfaced during the search conducted by the police at the Cushman residence.
State police search warrant!
When their announcements went unanswered, police entered the residence anyway. Despite the officer's suspicions, no one was found in the residence. Just as before, however, emaciated dogs were running free all over the property, and police had to take extra care to make sure that none of them were aggressive. One of the first things the police probably noticed was how different the inside of the house appeared compared to the previous visit.
State police search warrant! Clear. Johnny, straight up back.
Anybody clear over here? Yeah.
State police search warrant!
Dirty dishes were no longer overflowing from the sink. The toilets were empty, and the water was back on. A former friend of the Cushman family, however, was able to offer a theory on the matter. Matthew came forward to talk to the police once he heard on the news that Cushman was being investigated. He'd reported Cushman to CYFD multiple times, starting around 2014, 8 years earlier than what was happening now. But none of his efforts ever led to a formal investigation. His theory about why nothing ever happened was highly concerning.
On CPS or CPS, they're calling on, they get a heads up somehow. And Jamie and Laura get a heads up somehow on CPS. Through whoever, I don't know, it's a law enforcement, but that's how it will work. Because at the time, kids would clean up everything and she get them all dressed up in matching outfits.
Unfortunately, state police would discover that this was only one example of how local law enforcement had failed to capture evidence of the children's suffering until it was too late.
They're being around, they're trying to take the kids out of kind of alarm. That's like so random. They were again too late up to something. Should have given us a 48? Will you hold that up if I don't get your picture?
After finding the chains next to the beds, the investigators might have thought they'd already discovered the worst of the suffering. But this was just the beginning, and they never could have guessed just how inhumane some of the children's treatment had been. Police found more chains and padlocks, secreted away in a drawer beside Cushman and Senna's bed. It seemed that with every room they searched, more disturbing evidence was unearthed.
See the other one?
Oh, yeah. That one right here.
And then
See it right here?
Alright, so
When investigators eventually confronted Senna with these sickening details, she revealed a surprise of her own.
The chains, the alarms,
What was that for?
just because Jamie has said that he has gotten out of the house and broke into neighbors' houses. So it's a warning they put on him, but the pin pulls out real quick, and they have free range in their house.
Typically, children with such severe behavioral problems have been mistreated, especially if they're under 12 years of age.
I don't know how to explain it, but there's the black box, okay, and then the chain goes on their ankle, and the little pin goes into the black box. The second that pin pops out, the alarm screams.
Mhm.
But they have free range and they're not.
Is he aware of them?
As far as I know when they came in January, they saw them. They never said anything about
Were
it.
they aware of how they were being used?
I don't know. I honestly, I don't know all of that.
Though Senna didn't yet seem to realize it, she just implicated herself in the awful happenings inside the house. While executing the search warrant, police had found the so-called screamers that Senna was talking about.
That's the alarm.
Did you videotape it?
Yeah, we do.
There's a little thing that comes up so they won't leave, but they know when they leave.
Yeah.
That's not right. Children or any person for that matter.
The police found more chains and screamers beside every bed in the room. Back with Senna, the chains weren't the only thing police planned to confront her about.
So if CYP would come, because let's be real, that house was not the best, cleanest house ever. It was always dirty.
This is unsafe. You guys recording?
Yeah.
Crazy in here, dude. What's up with that?
Huh?
And every time CYP showed up, you guys had to start picking it up, correct?
Yeah, I was.
Who was you calling to every time you pick up the house?
I don't know.
In addition to more evidence of the callous disregard and treatment of the children, the police also found a strange area attached to the laundry room at the Cushman residence.
Oh. It just leads back. It just leads back here. What? I'm good.
Nothing relevant was found in this strange area, but it was a different story entirely when they searched the backyard.
It's behind. Yeah, there's an AC on this side.
This small structure would become very important to the case soon enough. Those who tried to report this terrible mistreatment of the children and living conditions met with the short end of the stick. In an exclusive interview with Ewu, Matthew shared more about his frustration with law enforcement after he alleged that they told Cushman he was the one who reported her.
So I gotta go talk to the phone. So he got him. And I go around like, what is this? Well, you got a restraining order against you from Jane Cushman and them. Says you harassed them or whatever. And I was like, Doug, the kids are getting chained to a bed. I said, your cop messed up. No, their story checks out.
What Matthew didn't know is that the chains were only one aspect of what was going on. The officer in question also asked Matthew to provide photo or video proof of his accusations, which just wasn't feasible thanks to the iron grip Cushman kept on everyone in the house.
And I was taking pictures of flash at night. She would have lit me up and it'd been over with. And she'd have wanted to cover it up. And I said, this is going to be the one time the kids slip through the cracks. He said, well, I guess so.
Matthew was no longer welcome on Cushman's property after the police allegedly told her about his involvement.
And the cops and clothes wouldn't believe. I said, they treated me like I was a criminal. Like I did something, they actually threatened me with having a false report on somebody.
Sadly, this was only one example of the frustrating experiences witnesses had with local law enforcement. In an exclusive interview with E! Alicia Brand, a former friend, roommate, and partner of Cushman, shared more on the subject.
I made, between CPS and the Texaco police, it had to be like 75 calls. It had to. I did it anonymously for a while until I didn't care anymore. Hi, I'm calling again. Hi, I'm calling again. And maybe I'd get a different person on the line and they'd be like, no, we're really going to have to put good notes on this. Like the notes from last time don't really look like that. And I'd be like, what do you mean? And I'd tell them from the beginning and then I'd tell them currently and I'd tell them, and I'd spend hours on the line over and over and over trying to get someone else out there. I'd be like, please don't send the local sheriff. Please don't send, the same people that have been going out there. You need someone bigger.
The state police were determined to handle things differently. They tracked down Sheriff Doug Bowman and brought him in for an interview of his own.
Over the course of my career over here, 14 years, I've been over there. I can't tell you exactly how many times, but it's been a handful of times that I've been over there to see Bradley. I found it unusual that every time we went, the accusations that were made, there was no evidence or foundation to believe what they were doing was wrong. Was the house dirty and not the best that it could be? Yeah. I've been in a lot of houses like that in my career that doesn't justify taking kids in. Oh, they were the chains on the wall. We have chains and evidence on every single wall where it's any out of doubt, you guys. You never saw a chain next to the building? No, sir. There was never a chain.
Back in the interrogation room, Senna was growing more and more distressed.
Tell me about the dungeon outside.
What dungeon?
The storage shit outside the house.
The one before everything?
Yes, so the snake and the snakes.
Police first learned about the dungeon when they asked about Cushman's uncle James, who sometimes lived on the back part of the property. Why he built it and what he utilized it for remains unknown. Police were pretty sure that they found the dungeon in question while carrying out the search warrant on the property.
Do you think that's like what they say the dungeon is? That's what I'm thinking, because there's a, yeah. Louis Vuitton fit? There you go. Thanks.
Oh, it's a dungeon, bro.
Yeah. That is freaking an arrow? There's a toilet in here? Is that a SIM card? Is there a camera?
In addition to a crossbow, camera, chains, and an abundance of cats, the investigators also found another critical piece of evidence that would be significant later. Senna, however, had a different explanation for the shed dungeon altogether.
Who's that name? The two people that made it? Where's the baby now?
As far as I know, they're bringing out to the
Did you ever put the kids in there?
No. That kid's never gone there. I mean, I'm 100%.
Police needed to find out how much Jamie Senna was aware of what was happening to the children, and what her exact role was in the cycle of mistreatment that so clearly pervaded Cushman's inner circle. They clearly suspected that she wasn't telling them the whole truth, though the reason why was more complex than they could have predicted.
Who said it was together? When you moved in, was it already happening? So you had no oriented stuff on those chains and such where tying them to their ankles? To their sling tying them? To tie it once?
I never did it. tight or heavy. Like, I was just,
Did you change your police? You never did.
Obviously, police had to question this, especially after what they'd heard from witnesses. Alicia admitted that Cushman tried to pressure her to discipline the children when she first moved in.
In the beginning, I just noticed that there were excessive whoopings. These kids would be spanked, dragged to where they were being spanked, picked up by the ear and moved and being spanked. There was one time where she was like, if they're not where they're supposed to be, I grab them by the ear and I move them. I expect you to do that. So I didn't. One day I told her what happened. So she hit me. She punched me in the chest. She said I should never undermine her parenting, that she can discipline her children how she wishes.
Jamie McDaniel had a similarly bleak history with Cushman, which began when she was only 15.
One day, she had pushed me and I hit the wall and I like bounced off of it, and of course like I'm going to catch myself because I think I'm falling, and she thought I was coming at her for pushing me. She knocked me in my face over the love seat. She then flipped the love seat over on top of me, made Melanson, herself, all the kids sit on top of this love seat so I could not move. I'm claustrophobic to a degree. I have panic attacks, I have anxiety attacks at this point. I had such a bad anxiety attack where I pissed my britches. I threw up. And then I was made to clean it up when they finally decided that I was allowed to come out from underneath the love seat. I had to clean that up myself.
McDaniel's story only became darker from there. If Cushman was capable of behaving like this, police had to wonder what else her children had been subjected to. Even with all of this in mind, there were still stomach-churning details to be uncovered regarding the children. As it turns out, the children weren't only punished physically. Matthews said that they were also frequently humiliated as a form of discipline.
Looked like something you'd see in a World War II POW camp. Well, she was probably 9 or 10 at the time, maybe. They would make her wear just her underwear, no shirt, no bottom and stuff, around me just to embarrass her. And I said, hey, don't worry about it.
This poor child was standing in the corner for days at a time. She started making her do exercises as punishment. It was do a wall squat for 30 minutes. No one can do a wall squat for 30 minutes. I am sorry. I don't care who you are. That is not an easy task.
State police found a way to confirm at least some of what they'd been told while executing the search warrant. And it was worse than they ever could have imagined.
There's gonna be a camera as soon as you walk in on the wall. That's the chain. Like that's work here. It got moved.
In addition to taking all the chains, locks, and screamers they could find, the police also collected a camera mounted on the wall in the first children's bedroom. The footage retrieved from this camera, which was also downloaded to Cushman and Senna's phones, would ultimately reveal the entire sickening truth of what took place in the house and who the perpetrators were.
And like I said, we extracted data from both y'all's phones. We extracted data from the video cameras. And some of the videos are James phone. You can see here, who's that?
the kids, alright,
Who's that? And the picture is a little small.
I guess that's it.
Okay, you see what they're eating? So here, this one. One spaghetti, right? You want your feet on, like, put them outside in the bowl. Here's your food, right?
Yeah.
Put all the food in the bathtub naked or eating over there. Put it in the bowl. It wasn't even a bowl. The food thrown in the bathtub. That's the other bathtub.
As she was told me,
You-
that was a fun thing they did there. Like, they filled the bathtub with spaghetti because they saw that kind of video.
You should have some sick person did that.
I didn't know. She said it was fun.
You never seen her song?
I've never seen the picture. She told me.
She told me about it.
She told me about it. And I was like, well, that sounds like a fun thing. I mean, you see people doing it.
I think that's wrong.
Like, I'm thinking not a bathtub, okay? I'm thinking like one of those big up arrow pools and the kids get to play around. Like, you know, you see people with the jello or whatever. I'm thinking fun. The way she described it to me sounded fun. You know, like I slip inside a spaghetti, like that's what I'm picturing. I didn't know that.
What would you do if you saw your daughter get that?
I would lose it.
As it turned out, the spaghetti pictures weren't the first time the bathtub had been misused as a feeding trough.
And she had dumped cottage cheese in there. It had been there probably for days because it was growing mold. And she was allowing them to eat it.
Unfortunately, this was just one of many incidents involving food.
She got this, like, the blue kiddie pools, like the plastic ones. And she filled it with pudding. It was like 10 gallons of milk and so many boxes of pudding and sprinkles and whipped cream. And she made this pool of pudding. She made the kids get in there and eat it. I don't remember if it was the boy or the youngest girl, but they were going to pee their pants. They had to go to the bathroom so bad. And they didn't get out of the pool all the way in time, which is gross in its own, right? Like, you just peed in a pool of pudding. And so the oldest girl jumped out, threw a fit because she was sitting in a puddle of pee, of pudding. Like, of course you're going to react to that. So she jumps out. Well, Cushman gets mad. And those two kids are made to eat so much of that pudding. Mind you, now it has dirt in it. It has leaves in it. It has pee in it. These kids have been getting out and in, and they have toys in there, and they've made buckets, and it's this disgusting mess. It's starting to smell. It's warm outside. It's been sitting outside for hours at this point. She makes them start eating it until they're both so sick they can't stand it.
Things got really, really messed up when the youngest one started having accidents. That's when they started blending the food. If we were having something for dinner, it got thrown in a blender with her drink, her everything, and that's what she was expected to eat. The first time they had put like stuff that's not necessarily too gross together, you know, some fruit and like a piece of bread. And, you know, she didn't love the texture, but she ate it. She thought it was funny. The kid thought it was funny. She's like, oh yeah, I'm a baby, whatever. But then because that didn't affect her, they're like, oh, well, we're having a hamburger, so you're getting a blended hamburger. And then like, oh, well, what we're having tonight isn't bad enough. So I'm going to put in tuna and all like fruit and things that are, and just blend them together.
Horrifically, Alicia said that even if the concoction was disgusting enough to make CK vomit, she would still be made to eat it. But it didn't end there either.
I seen him when he was chained to the fireplace at one time. They had run out of dog food and he couldn't eat that morning or whatever, what he did last night or night before. They made a bunch of rice and just boiled rice and stuff and was feeding their dogs and stuff. And one of the dog bowls was by and he scooched the dog bowl over to him and ate it. He got punished for that too.
Because he ate the dog's
He ate the dog's rice.
So the dog got a better treatment than he did.
Yes. It was a very evil period.
Yeah.
100% period.
What happened with when started her menstrual cycle?
Like when it was starting to start, Jamie had mentioned that she thought that, and Jamie was like, well, that's gross, we're not doing that. That's what my sister used to do. That's disgusting. Women don't do that. And so she had, I don't know if she put hot sauce on her actual parts or she put hot sauce on her hands.
Everything the witnesses shared so far was from before Senna moved in. At that time, Cushman was still in a relationship with Laura, raising the question of what role she might have played. Police would soon find out.
If Laura wasn't as hateful to them when Jamie wasn't around, I would have thought, okay, she's in the same position I was. She's scared of her. She's just doing what she's being told. But when Jamie wasn't around, when Jamie was in the back or whatever, she was no nicer to those kids. In February of 2020, she had the wood paddle, and then she had hit him with his chain.
She hit him with his chain? So she was whooping him with the chain?
Well, she had him bent down. She was holding his head into the bed, and she was hitting him with the chain. Well, she was hitting him with the paddle. When he wasn't crying because he'd been hit so many damn times, she got mad and she unhooked him from his ankle, and she started hitting him with the chain.
This horrific scene suggests a level of sadism was likely present. Laura was apparently not satisfied until she heard A.B. cry, which is why she used the chain. Please note that the term sadism is often associated with acts, but can be associated with individuals who derive gratification from inflicting pain on others. McDaniel also mentioned that Cushman made the paddle herself. Caregivers who spend time planning the different forms of punishment likely have sadistic traits, and most likely have antisocial personality disorder, as the two disorders can often co-occur.
Did you ever see Laura?
Oh, yeah, Laura really want to lock them up, too.
You saw her knock
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. What pure evil these people are. Laura was just involved, but she got, Jamie's the ringleader of all.
Do you think Laura should be in jail, too?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, absolutely. Laura should be in jail for what she did.
Perhaps Laura's involvement was why, despite being divorced, Cushman and Laura had been in regular contact since the investigation began. Even after Cushman's arrest later, the two made regular phone calls to discuss the case, including the so-called spaghetti thing.
I need to tell you something, too. What? I went through your pictures on your phone. Uh-huh. Like, all your pictures on your phone? Uh-huh. Yeah, just to let you know. Uh-huh. I was looking for the spaghetti pictures to see what they were.
Yeah, and for what? You can't tell, but that the kids are wearing underwear.
Yeah, but just know I went through all your pictures, okay?
Cushman seemed to be missing the point about all the concerning aspects of those photos. A few days later, Laura fell into the same pattern.
And they have blown the spaghetti thing so far out of the water, it's not even funny.
Are you serious? What are they saying?
Oh, it's just, you can tell that they're eating, the spaghetti was just thrown in the bathtub, and they're eating it with their hands.
What about asking the kids?
I don't know what they've asked the kids. I don't know what they've talked to them about. I only know bits and pieces of what the kids said in the forensic interview.
Police did in fact ask the kids. With overwhelming evidence piling up against Cushman, Laura, and Senna, the children were taken to the state police station to meet with a child forensic interviewer. Further depths of the children's suffering were finally about to be brought to light.
That day, the next day, her shoot the trampoline.
I shot the trampoline? Was there anybody on the trampoline?
No, only me.
You were on the trampoline when she shot at it? How did that make you feel?
Nervous.
Nervous, yeah.
Because her said they're going to shoot me where my ankle always.
Notice how A.B. answered, "No one, just me," as if he doesn't consider himself a person. Tragically, it seems he's learned through a lifetime of mistreatment that he is unimportant and essentially invisible to the adult caregivers in his life. This is what CK, one of the older children in the group, had to share.
What's in your room?
Dressers, TV. We do have a chain, but my mom's been talking about taking it off and stuff. They do make me feel safe because they don't make me feel like I will never leave this home. But I'm chained to my house.
The chain providing CK with a sense of security shows how disturbing behavior in the home had been normalized and even associated with love.
How else do you feel when you're chained?
Sometimes I do feel sad. I always feel sad because I shouldn't have to be chained. Not like it's my fault. Stuff like that.
It appeared that Cushman was gradually beginning to grasp the gravity of her actions, yet Laura remained seemingly detached from the unfolding reality.
Jamie, we've been through hell.
What if this is the rest of my life?
I'm afraid that it's not.
No, we don't think I'm going to prison for the rest of my life, right?
Not the rest of your life.
If Laura was so deeply involved as police were coming to suspect, It was only a matter of time before they determined if Senna had followed in her footsteps. Police would know soon enough once she finally started telling the truth.
Why do they have sheets and comforters and pillows and he doesn't?
I know sometimes he gets himself so then we have to do laundry.
So then do the laundry.
After reviewing the security footage, however, the police knew that there was a far crueler explanation than a slow laundry process.
What happened that day?
I know that day. That is the day he got out and stole everything in the kitchen. I know that day.
And he threw up where? On the bed, right?
On the bed, yes.
What was that red stuff he threw up?
All the food he ate.
On the food he ate?
He got into like the hot Cheetos, the cereal, the oatmeal, all the crap. I mean, he got into everything.
Let me show you something.
Okay.
You see that chain hanging out?
It sounds like AB engaged in food hoarding, which can be typical of children who are being underfed, severely neglected, or starved. On the morning of July 6th, just 3 weeks before the entire incident came to light, it became apparent that AB had been sick at some point during the night and was forced to sleep with his own vomit. The camera captured every awful detail, including Senna ignoring the situation. A few moments later, Cushman entered the room, and things went from bad to worse.
Nobody cleans up that floor. You know how he cleans it up? You'll see right now how he cleans it up.
The footage showed Cushman entering the room in a violent fit of rage and smothering AB's face in his own vomit. Later, AB had picked out pieces of the vomit from the mattress while he continued to feel sick and remained chained to his bed. What was further sickening was the fact that Cushman and Senna had set up security cameras to film this sort of, to later save it in their phones.
You cannot sit there and say, oh my God, and tell me you did not know.
I did not know that's how it happened. I didn't.
What you did know is you didn't know about that chain. Because I'm not listening to me. Just listen. Everyone has said they have chained him up. And we're not even done going through the video.
Police confronted Senna with just how unacceptable this indignity, along with the violence, was. You can probably guess her response.
So you never around when this happens? So you didn't know about all of this? He's sneaking out the night like that. I find it hard that you didn't know about it.
I knew about it because he got out and he started.
Right, but you know what kind of chain she's using. He cannot get out of that.
It's hidden.
Senna, watch this. This is how we're going to do this, okay? It's time for you to start thinking about me.
Yeah, I am.
And stop thinking about Christian. Because if you guys are separated and you guys are not together, it's time for you to start thinking about you and stop thinking about her.
As far as
because this is serious.
I know.
You knew he was not on that chain with him. You knew it. Everybody knows. Because everybody locked him up at night. Did you not know he had him up? It's a simple question.
I knew the chain.
Right, but you knew from afar.
It's a pin.
Not this one.
Yes, it plugs into the alarm.
We have multiple videos of him. He cannot get out of that unless he has a key. There's messages that we recovered from your phone too. This is something in the lines of, I'm getting tired, he's hungry, like that. This is your time right now. This is your time right now.
I've never heard crickets.
Have you seen Christian?
Text messages, like the security footage, suggested that Senna was far more than a helpless witness. In one message, Senna wrote to Cushman, quote, LOL is pissing me off, trying to find something to watch. When Cushman asked what was going on, Senna replied, his stupid, I'm hungry. I'm going to knock him out. Later, Cushman texted Senna, haha, they're not going to stop until they get me for child. She was right, and now they were after Senna too. Watching the footage back, it seemed to have a strong effect on her. So strong, in fact, that it led her to reveal something police had not even thought to suspect.
Why are you protecting this woman? That is the devil right there. And you know that. Do not protect this woman. Go ahead. Why was she doing that? Did you put her for her to listen?
She wanted to listen.
She knew, I knew.
I'm scared.
You're scared of her. You know what you just did?
I'm trying to protect my kids as much as possible.
You know what you just did?
I've left several times. What did you do?
Tampered with evidence.
That's right. Cushman was listening in on the interview from the other end of a call. Combined with what Senna and Cushman had just pulled off and the overall evidence against them, officers acquire an arrest warrant for Cushman immediately.
Let's go. Tuesday hot all the time. Yeah.
Is there any way I can have grab some cigarette before I get the cut?
No.
Perhaps tellingly, Cushman didn't once ask why she was under arrest. Nor did Laura Melanson, who was driving the car. Cushman was taken to jail. Back in the interrogation room, Senna is finally starting to react, perhaps only now that her own well-being is on the line.
You gotta start thinking. You gotta start thinking about you and your kids. Or you and her.
My kids, I want my babies. I'll do anything to get my kids.
Do you think this is gonna help you get your kids back?
No.
Like, I'm telling you right now, we're not even close to being dead. And we're still going through everything. But this alone, just off of this, that's crazy. This is gonna be one of the worst trauma cases we've had. Top 5 for sure.
I just want to protect these kids. All of them.
Let's just start back and relax. Just relax. This is what we're gonna need from you, okay?
I didn't mean to. Okay, I thought it was just gonna be a couple questions.
It's gonna be a couple questions, okay?
I'm so sorry.
Relax, okay? This, what we just presented to you and listening to, is evidence.
I'm so sorry. I did not know you were gonna tell me anything like that. I thought you were just gonna ask me a couple
Then why don't you take it out when we were going, you know where we were going with this. Why don't you take it out and hang up? Will she come and talk to us?
I don't know.
After what she heard?
Probably not.
Probably not. And guess whose fault is that? This ends up going to court.
I knew she was never gonna come anyways. She told me she was
Listen to
gonna
me.
come.
If this ends up going to court, you gotta think about your kid. You gotta think about kids, right? Right? Would you be willing to testify to everything that you told us? You're supposed to be scared for your kids.
I'm terrified for my
Look, for your kids.
I'm trying now. I know it's late, but I'm trying now. I know it's a little late, and I'm so sorry. I never wanted any kid to ever get hurt.
This is so messed up. You have no idea.
I do.
You obviously don't act like you do. You know more than what you're telling us.
I don't. I'm answering everything honestly. Now that she's on the phone, I'm answering everything honestly. And yes, I admit sometimes I have lost my control. You'll see it in the video. I've run in there and yelled at myself. Okay, but I don't. They're her kids. I didn't know where I stand. I barely just moved in there.
You know what kind of punishment this is?
It's bad.
It's torture. What did she do?
It's the same thing. Spankings.
Chain.
Yep. But I know for sure 100% her pen is easy access to get out.
His is not. His is not.
No, his is not.
His is not. Thank you.
Here, Senna finally admits to lie number 1, indicating that there are probably many more to come.
Could you imagine if there was a fire in that house?
It would not be safe right now.
He would burn to death. Because he couldn't get out because he was tied like a dog in his damn room. And both of you will be charged for homicide. Let's just get this back up. We're going to start all over, okay? Just relax, okay? This is what we're going to need. What's going on in that house? All I want is not to get the truth.
Okay.
Going forward.
Don't they treat her like the others? They don't.
It's obvious. It's obvious.
They don't. Jamie has an anger issue. And when they start acting up excessively, She gets upset. She says stuff. She obviously, she does stuff.
What have you seen her?
I've seen her spank the kids with a paddle.
They'd suspected the use of a paddle since the initial report alleged that one was used in the house, and all but confirmed it during the search warrant.
Got it. Hey, I got the paddles. Got the paddles.
Oh, there's a snake in there. Oh, I'm getting whoa. What's that?
There's a snake. There's a snake. Snake. Hey, can you get a picture of those paddles?
While this discovery was huge in terms of evidence, police knew this wasn't the only form of corporal punishment used in the house. They intended to wring every drop of truth from Senna, who still knew more than she was saying.
But the chain is a form of punishment.
Yes, and I don't agree with that. And I don't agree with it. I'm not comfortable with that. I don't do that to my kids. I don't.
It's a form to keep them there to punish them without putting too many freaky bruises on their body. That's what that is. Because you guys know CYFD goes to that house. And if they have a bunch of bruises on their body, what do you think's gonna happen?
I've never seen her physically.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have. Yes, you have.
Not excessively, not where it hurt them that bad.
Footage extracted from the security camera in Cushman and Senna's phones showed firsthand just how barbaric some of the children's punishments were. In the uncensored footage, Cushman slaps AB in the face 3 times. LS was dragged from his bed by an unidentified female. Confronted with this, Senna was at last about to reveal the extent of this nightmare situation. And what she shared was even more shocking than anything discovered so far.
You've seen that before.
I wasn't in the room.
I said before. You've seen that punishment before. You've seen them you've seen them beat. Because you're scared because you don't want to tell us the truth. Yeah, because you know if you tell us the truth, what? Why are you scared of her?
Because I hit it and I didn't tell them.
So this is your time right now. Tell them.
Okay, she beats them.
Why?
Because she has anger issues. They don't do something she likes
and she takes it away on them?
Yes.
She takes it out on them?
Yes.
And they're crying, yelling at her.
I pull her back. I make her stop.
How does she beat them?
She's like that. She hits them and she spanks them with the paddle.
Your kids too?
No.
The interviews with the children proved invaluable, as Senna's daughter was willing to tell the truth, while her mother was not.
And when you do get in trouble and you get hit, who's the one that's hitting you?
Both moms.
Both moms? Okay. What happens when you get in trouble?
I get spanked
You get spanked?
with wood.
With wood. Okay. Where do they spank you with the wood?
I have like a bruise right here.
Where's that? What about here?
Right here.
Right there? Okay.
According to her own children, not to mention the camera, Senna's claims of being faultless were nothing but hollow lies. As if that wasn't enough, Senna's text message history once again undercut her declarations of innocence. Senna messaged Cushman, "I'm going to hit him, I swear. He just needs to shut the up." In a subsequent message, she wrote, "I'm still trying for you because I know it upsets you and it hurts you, and for me because I need to learn to control myself." Cushman messaged her saying, "AB is on a rampage." Senna's response was, "Well, locking up." We can only assume that she meant lock him up. However, this can't be verified. Senna's guilt extended far past encouragement, and police had footage of her chaining various children on more than one occasion. Of course, Senna claimed it was all Cushman's fault.
I know she was drunk him outside once. Not like dragging, but she's pushed him out the doors to yell at him. But that's all I saw because I was inside with the kids.
The person who reported Cushman had recently moved out of her residence. However, they did see what would take place on these walks.
And in those ones that you made, that this is what you observed? Or
Yes,
something?
sir. Yes, sir.
How many times did you observe this? I mean, was it something that would happen?
Non-stop.
Non-stop?
Yes, sir.
Non-stop what?
That they would beat them up or they would chain to their bed.
Why is she starving?
She's not starving.
Yes, she is. He's crying saying he's hungry. You mean to tell me that, look how tight that is.
That is very tight.
That is very tight.
It goes that tight.
That's Because get back on the food. Why is she, don't not say she's not starving him. She's starving him because he's complaining he's hungry. He even says he's hungry at times. Why is she starving the kids?
I don't know. I know. He gets out and he steals everything. And if his stomach is full, then he doesn't eat or like for the rest of the day because his stomach is so full, don't want to get him sick. Or he'll eat broth or a tortilla. They've never gone an entire day without eating anything. We're on that one. As far as I know, they have never gone an entire day without eating.
Notice how Senna initially firmly denies the children ever going hungry and switches to "as far as I know" later on. It seems she doesn't even believe what she's saying herself.
But if we still we scream that we hungry. So if you still or you scream that you're hungry, you missed dinner,
A complete review of all the security footage revealed that AB had been chained without access to food, water, or a bathroom for more than 14 hours straight during the period the footage was recorded. As the other children weren't as consistently restrained, it was impossible to say how frequently, or rather infrequently, they were fed. This was all completely inhumane, but even more shocking was what else Cushman was known to do to her children.
When she put in the cage.
No, I've never heard of cages. I've heard of acquisitions. I've never seen them in cages.
McDaniel, who didn't even live at the residence anymore, had seen the children locked away in dog crates. So had members of Cushman's family. Cushman's aunt and her cousin spoke with police and revealed that in 2016, when they visited the house, they found CK locked in a dog cage on the front porch. It was the middle of winter, and she was only wearing pajamas. Matthew also said he'd seen the children in cages, but Sheriff Bowman insisted otherwise.
I never saw the kid again, because I would have found them cage. You don't know me, but anybody around here knows what I would have done. I would hope so.
The state police would continue their investigation, but ultimately, Sheriff Bowman was not charged with anything. However, in 2023, he popped up in the news once again, this time in connection with the foster family who had taken in the Cushman children.
Mr. Bowman shot their dog on their porch, and the ring camera has it on ring. And the woman got contacted by lawyers saying, "Hey, do you want us to do something about this?" Yes. Their dog, the little dog, the dog hurt nobody. I remember that dog. He shot it on their porch, came walked up on their yard and shot their own dog, and then got in their vehicle.
Senna, on the other hand, was facing a host of charges, just like Cushman.
You contributed to this.
I never wanted to be with her. I tried to leave several times.
And why did you leave?
I did. She just brought me back. She gets in your head. She makes you think stuff. And she made me feel like, and I came back. There's one time she couldn't just get me back in the house so I could stay. But I didn't leave again.
It was like a cult of lesbians.
These claims could indicate a disturbing pattern in Cushman's alleged behavior. These patterns are similar to those we see in cult leaders, including narcissism, love bombing, targeting vulnerable people such as teens, and stringing people along. Narcissists often lure their victims with excessive affection and attention, making them feel special and adored. They manipulate by idealizing the victim, mirroring their interests, and projecting fantasies onto them, fostering a deep but false connection. Once trust is gained, they begin to devalue the victim, causing confusion and insecurity. Finally, they discard the victim or cycle through phases of idealization and devaluation, causing significant psychological and emotional damage. It's important for individuals to recognize these manipulative patterns and prioritize their emotional well-being in relationships.
Did she beat you?
She was the most longest. And my hand really first. I never seen her just scared. So she just was fighting. She's doing she was like just
I don't understand from her house.
During one of their calls, Laura informed Cushman that Senna had broken during interrogation.
Are you there?
No, I don't have any good news. I have no good news. Jamie told him you did it. Are you kidding me? No. But remember, we're being recorded this whole time, okay? Yeah. you being on the phone told them that when she saw the video, that you hate the kid. I was told I could share this with you, but it's very long, and I needed you to know that. Am I going to prison for the rest of my life? Your lawyer's going to work on that. Claire, I love you. Please know that, okay? We've got a minute left, okay? I love you. I know. I'm sorry, guys. I love you too. Claire, I can't go on this. I can't. You need to know. It didn't need to be. Huh? What did I do?
After years of inflicting torment upon the children and the repercussions of her actions catching up to her, Cushman frantically reaches out to her mother.
Hi, baby. Hi, Mama. Love you. Love you, too. You don't believe what Miss Curly. Miss Babe, did you? No, I don't believe. And congratulations. That's all. You're not a horrible person. No. And I will fight to the death somebody says you are. Okay.
The person who reported Cushman finally helped bring the state police to her house, resulting in Cushman's arrest and the children's rescue. In the end, Jamie Cushman was charged with a total of 21 counts of intentional child abuse that did not cause great bodily harm or death. She was given an additional charge for conspiring to commit the and another charge for interfering with an investigation. She eventually pled guilty to 5 counts of child abuse in exchange for a 15-year prison sentence. Jamie Senna faced the same charges and pled no contest to 4 counts of child abuse. She was sentenced to 6 years in prison. Finally, Laura Melanson was also charged with 5 counts of child abuse. She pled guilty on 2 counts and is expected to face the same 6-year sentence as Jamie Senna, though an official sentence has yet to be announced. As for the children, police were able to give Jamie McDaniel this positive update.
Some really good people, and these are 18 fortunate, and they are all back in school, and they're great. So they've been really good. And no, you're good. I'm good. It's because you can do it.
Matthew, Alicia, and McDaniel all expressed relief that the children were finally out of Cushman's control.
There's no sentence in the world that would justify her act. There's no punishment equal to the amount of damage that she did to those children.
If the kids ever saw this, I would want them to know that they were very loved by some people in their lives who really, really wanted to help them and who are really sorry they couldn't.
After their extreme suffering, we have to hope the children are getting a chance to recover and make a fresh start, and that they will never be hurt this way ever again.
First smell like gas, it smelled like feces, and then it smelled like death.
Now remember, when we open this is something that we're never going to be able to unsee. Is it a bloodbath in there?
On May 22nd, 2019, police in Sturgis, Michigan listened to an anonymous 911 caller read them an address. Inside this home, the caller explained, they would find the missing 42-year-old Kelly Jean Warner Miller. Little did authorities know that single phone call would launch the most shocking investigation of their careers, one that required uncovering secret after haunting secret, all buried within an exceptionally twisted and sadistic mind. The following footage has never been seen before. When Kelly Jean, known as KJ, went missing in April 2019, no red flags went up. There were no frantic phone calls to 911 and no eerie search parties. But it wasn't because KJ wasn't. was that her lifestyle was transient. She was estranged from her family and had untreated mental health struggles. This meant that sometimes long periods of absence were the norm for KJ. So when police received a 911 call,
Hang on, I'm just got messages that I'm replying to. Just give me a sec. I got messages coming in. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, girl, stop. She's muddy. She needs a bath. She needs a bath. Alright, documentary. Documentary.
First smell like gas, and it smelled like feces, and then it smelled like death.
Now we don't know when we open this. This is something that we're never going to be able to unsee. Is it a bloodbath in there?
On May 22nd, 2019, police in Sturgis, Michigan listened to an anonymous 911 caller read them an address. Inside this home, the caller explained, they would find the missing 42-year-old Kelly Jean Warner Miller. Little did authorities know that single phone call would launch the most shocking investigation of their careers, one that required uncovering secret after haunting secret, all buried within an exceptionally twisted and sadistic mind. The following footage has never been seen before. When Kelly Jean, known as KJ, went missing in April 2019, no red flags went up. There were no frantic phone calls to 911 and no weary search parties. But it wasn't because KJ wasn't loved. The trouble was that her lifestyle was transient. She was estranged from her family and had untreated mental health struggles. This meant that sometimes long periods of absence were the norm for KJ. So when police received a 911 call sending them to an address to look for her, and officers found themselves standing on the doorstep of an ordinary-looking apartment, it was hard to believe the call was even real. After all, this wasn't the kind of thing one saw in the small town of Sturgis, Michigan. But there was only one way to find out.
She said, inside on the left.
Answering the door is 35-year-old Wade Allen.
We're looking for Kimberly. Kelly or Kelly? Kelly or Kelly? From the shelter, maybe? KJ? Yeah.
At first, Wade seems confused, and for good reason. It's close to midnight, and he's been startled awake by several armed officers knocking on his door. Wade recently came to live in this apartment after a period of homelessness, and KJ was an acquaintance from a shelter he frequented in Kalamazoo.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't heard from that person in some months. Do you know her? I haven't heard from her in a while. The last time I've seen her is a couple months. The last I heard, she's in Kalamazoo. I think the best way for me to help you get a hold of her is through the shelter.
The eerie atmosphere is palpable. With a call like this, officers can't simply take Wade's words as fact. They need to confirm what, if anything, is behind his front door.
Well, we just need to talk to her. Oh, well,
Do you mind if we come and look, see if make sure she's not here?
I can tell you she's not. I mean,
According to Wade, he and KJ had lost touch recently after she suddenly stopped responding to his Facebook messages.
as far as here, I don't like just... My place is a mess, and I don't like just people coming and going all the time. We don't care. We see all sorts of apartments and homes and... Well, all we gotta do is verify she's not here, and then we can get out of here and be done with it. I don't know. I feel bad for you. If you guys want to come by another time, just not right now. Let me at least have a day where I can clean up and do things. Okay. Well,
Here's the deal, Wade. If we gotta get a search warrant, we will. Alright. Okay. We don't want to go that route. I know. That's a lot of work for all of us. We give it for it. If we gotta do that, we're gonna have to hang up for any kind of alright, until we get that search warrant. It'll take a couple hours. If she's in there, can you just have her come out and say, I'm fine? She's not, though. That's the thing. Like, I mean, I can open up and I'll say, hey, KJ, Kelly, and there's no Kelly or KJ. My guys just stay here working. They can. I mean, here.
Eventually, Wade agrees to let one officer, one he's met in the past, search his apartment.
Yeah, it's just one of you then. One of us is fine. You want to come in? I'll go away. Thank you. I know you know me and Mom, but yeah, I just... It's not much, but I don't have... I mean, I got sunglasses here, but... Not much anything. And then I got all this... See? Not here. I had her suitcase when she was here. Just me, and if I do have a guest, I have a bag.
As Wade guides the officers through his home, nothing in particular is jumping out, but just as it seems the search is coming to a close, one thing catches the officer's eye.
I don't have anyone here. Alright, man. What's in the cooler? Oh, that's for when I come and have parties and stuff, so can you open that for me and then we'll get out of here? Well, not right now, I can't. Like, I mean, I want to save that for later. For when the son gets here, so. But I showed you, she hasn't been here in forever. Okay, well, you don't, why don't you just open that cooler and we'll get out of here? I just want to make sure anywhere that she could be hiding. Not gonna be hiding. Well, okay, I just need to know that, okay? No, I mean, I can help you out there, but I'm showing you everything.
Wade seems eager to end the search and get back to bed, but his strangely evasive behavior is only working against him.
Alright, you want to open that door for me? Oh, can you open the fridge for me? Make sure she's not hiding in there? There's no point in the fridge either. I mean, it's just open. I understand. I'll sew your shoe on real quick. Well, I helped you out. Actually, you did partially. You have shoes you can throw on real quick? A little bit. Here, I'll help you out. Well, you're detained right now, okay? You're detained to walk out of there.
As the walls seem to close in on Wade, he's forced to make a decision. He can stick to his guns or prove to the police that they really have nothing to worry about.
He said, look, I said, shoes on. You're not going to get them on now. Give me the opportunity to walk out there. Do it now. You got anything illegal on you? No. Okay, put your hands on there. Got a knife or anything like that? No. Okay. Let's turn around against the wall real slowly. Being detained, I'm just want the opportunity to look the rest of the way through the apartment, okay? Well, I showed you everything. Here, let me... Do you want to show me? I will. I showed you everything. Why don't you walk back in there and show me that? Well, I did. You see? Can I look in that fridge? Yeah. Okay. I think there's something. Okay. I see she's not in there. She might be in the fridge. I understand that, but we gotta look. We found people in some crazy places.
With no sign of KJ, Wade makes no attempt to hide his frustration with police.
She wouldn't have to hide. Well, I don't know her. I don't know anything about her. I don't know if she's hiding from the law or hiding from her family or what she's doing. So I think she would. I just want to verify it. Okay. Can I look in that cooler over there? That's kind of, like I said, later on and summer stuff, I'm trying to keep my stuff kind of private. You know what? That's fine. All I want to do is open it and say, KJ, you in there? Close it right back up and I'll get out of there. You'll be out of handcuffs and we'll be gone. That's how it works.
officers request a search warrant.
Why don't you just have a seat right there? Well, do you mind if I wait out here? I mean, no, I gotta type up a search warrant. But at this point, I'm suspicious that she is in there. So, because you won't let me look in that cooler or any other big boxes in there. I didn't see anything else I needed to look through, but that big cooler, you know, I have no idea what size she is. If she's a little person, you could probably put two of her in that cooler. That cooler was that big. So, basically, I don't make sure she's not hidden in there. It took you a little while to answer your door, so I don't know if she was...
The reason why I took a while is because I had to get dressed.
Okay. And I understand that. If you were in bed, yeah. But in the meantime, you could have been telling somebody to hide in the cooler. I don't know. She's not in trouble. We just have a job to do.
As officers repeatedly ask Wade to wait in the cruiser, he does everything he can think of to avoid the back seat.
I actually like to stay out here if that's okay.
Well, we can't.
Sit right here if that's okay. You can sit long ways across the seat, but you gotta get all the way in. You want to put your back towards the other door you can, or whatever's more comfortable for you.
Once Wade finally gets settled, officers catch up a few feet away, and they're quick to voice concerns.
We try to steer me away from the cooler windows in front of us. It's really exciting. It's a big, huge green cooler.
Meanwhile, a somewhat cooperative Wade is still squirming in the back of the squad car.
I'm really feeling claustrophobic.
Okay. Well, we could end this all. You could take me in there and let me look around more, or I gotta take you back and put you in a cell while I'm doing the search warrant. So.
Well, let me go back then.
As Wade silently leads the officer back to his apartment, a strange energy hangs heavy in the air.
Any closets or any food?
Like I said, just in here.
Gosh. Okay. Can I pop it open and just take a peek?
Well, if you want.
Okay. You just step back for a second. Okay. What's in there?
This stuff.
Okay. Alright, let's head out there. Yep, everything's good. Saving everything? Yep. You're under arrest, okay? Under arrest? Yes, you are. Let me get the crime task force over here.
Can I have a soda, please?
Just keep walking.
Once outside and back in the patrol car, Wade seems eager to fill the silence.
This situation happened, and
Yep.
that's probably the best way for me to.
The officers already seem to have an idea that something horrible happened in that apartment, but they couldn't yet know just how twisted things will get by the end of this disturbing case.
I am currently sitting in a car with a guy in the back seat who has been looking bad.
As some of the officers begin searching the apartment, others transport Wade to the station and settle in for a long night, doing their best to put him at ease. Whatever happened, they need to know the full story. When he does start to talk, the story he has to tell is only a small piece of the truth, and what really happened to KJ is far more disturbing than anyone could have ever imagined.
We got some homemade cookies in there that are really good. You want some cookies?
If we're to pass on that.
You want a couple of them?
Yeah, I'll agree there.
Okay. Alright. We will get you hooked up. Alright, man. Here's some cookies. I can get started on those.
Soon the detective arrives. While Wade insinuated earlier that KJ was merely a distant friend, it's not long before that story changes.
And I think it goes back to like 2013 and we started being friends, but we started dating sometime after
So would it be fair to say that you've known Kelly Jean since 2013 and recently?
Recently, according to Wade, he even lived with KJ in his current apartment.
Alright, Wade, so what I would like to know from you is, in your own words, what happened to Kelly Jean?
Well, she's been through a lot. Might take a little bit to describe the others. Please take the time.
Absolutely.
Earlier, the search of Wade's apartment revealed some chilling discoveries.
So there's a bungee cords. We got the trash bag. Some type of ribbon. Bungee female belt. Girl shoes, those girls.
I'll start with saying that she's hypoglycemic. Alright, so her eating levels are important. She has to have a certain amount of sugar in her breath. I want to bring that to attention because I know at one point when she was making cereal, she maintained a really perfect life and really concerned. Because a little after that, I started seeing little mental issues, whether speech, memory, things like that. I was concerned. I wonder what you said that was.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, right here. You seen this?
The incident had to have happened in March.
Okay, so it's been a little bit ago.
I want to say March.
When she fell, did she become unconscious? Did she knock herself out? Did she just kind of stun herself? Did she?
She was unconscious for a little bit.
Okay, about how long would you say a little bit would be?
Well, I would say 5 to 10 minutes. Even though that might seem like a little bit to me, that's a long time for someone to be unconscious.
And as Wade tells it, KJ's symptoms lingered in the days after her fall, and they weren't subtle. She had no memory of what happened, and she struggled to carry out daily functions that weren't a challenge for her before. Though KJ did suffer from these symptoms, what Wade is saying happened isn't the full story, and what really happened to her is far more disturbing than just a fall.
And then I was trying to take care of her.
Wade isn't the only person police spoke to. They also asked his neighbor Sherry, who lived right next door, to come to the station to answer some questions and hopefully shed some light on what really happened to KJ. According to Sherry, she and Wade had a cordial relationship, occasionally spending evenings watching TV together in her apartment. But Wade made a comment about KJ that left Sherry feeling concerned.
Also, he told me that she had fallen in the bathroom and that he thought she might have a skull fracture. And I said, well, you need to take her to the emergency room. He goes, I'm taking care of her.
This development immediately put officers on high alert. In the story he told officers, Wade explained KJ fell in the kitchen while making cereal. In this version, Wade said she fell in the bathroom. This is only the first of many red flags in this story.
She wasn't able to feed herself. And that really concerned me. I did my best to try to help feed her. So one time I came in, I saw her sitting on the tub, and I tried to feed her this meal. I wanted these freezer dinners. I have a bunch of those. And it was chili. And she was just kind of like holding it like this. And then she just moving so slow. And there was just chili all over her.
Wade explained that KJ even struggled to drink water at times, despite his attempts to help her.
Did you try to get some medical treatment for her, see what was going on, anything like that?
didn't take her, no. I didn't know if she could move or get around.
Where do you need that?
Just wasn't walking all that fast. Like I said, her motor skills were not good. I did start talking to her caseworker about how she might need an adult foster care. You know, because before even that, there were issues of bladder control problems. Like on my bed, I got a big old yellow stamp on where she peed on that. In the kitchen, like she had issues with bladder control.
Sherry, Wade's neighbor, had more to share. Over time, she'd grown to feel extremely uneasy in his company. It wasn't long before an eerie and unprompted confession validated her strange feelings about Wade. From here, the story takes an even darker turn, suggesting that what police know about Wade so far barely scratches the surface.
He told me that he hit women.
He told you that he hit women?
Yeah. And that he was working on his unconfirmed domestic violence. And I told him, you can't do that, you know? I said, you can go to jail for that. He goes, I know I'm working on it.
After Wade's comments, Sherry remained friendly but guarded, and she decided to ease off of their visits.
I thought, I don't want him in my house because of the drug.
Within 2 weeks of KJ's supposed fall, Wade claims that something terrible happened. Keep in mind that he knows the officers are working their way through his apartment, and he knows what they're going to find. He's setting himself up with a story he thinks will explain away the stomach-churning evidence.
I figured she'd be okay in a bath, but just taking a bath. So I started to lie. I thought she'd be okay if she was laying down, standing up, and I wouldn't have to watch her go through the floor. So when I see that morning, she was breathing. What really shocked me is when I saw her feet. And it was like she started with hot water, and I don't know, you had to swing to turn it on. I can't understand why she didn't turn it or adjust it better. And I don't know without anything. Hot water, or maybe she tried to get out and fall or something. I don't know. I seriously do want to know what the cause of death was because I really don't know.
With this claim, Wade has confirmed that KJ isn't missing. She's dead.
And when you left them after, how was she positioned?
She was laying in the towel.
So this is where you'll see everything else. Check the fridge. From
enjoyed the search.
Authorities struggle to understand Wade's logic. In what world would someone leave a person who is incapable of eating, drinking, moving around without help alone in a tub full of water? There's one very good reason for this. Wade isn't telling them the truth. While on a break in the back room, officers wrestle with ideas about what's really going on.
He's got it.
He's not there. We thought I figured that you could choke him up pretty easy, but he's either really good or he's just, I don't think he's all there.
As the police will soon learn, it isn't that Wade is out of his mind. Rather, he's attempting to manipulate them in order to hide the truth of what really happened to KJ. But the horrors uncovered back at his apartment will reveal an entirely different version of events.
So your cat's off. Someone's right there, because that's CS. Weird. That would bring it up pretty level.
When the officers interviewing Wade return to speak with him, they press him further, hoping to get a story that makes sense. What Wade soon tells them is chilling.
And then when did you go back into the bathtub? Or the bathroom, I'm sorry.
Was the water still running or was the water off?
What happened at that
If KJ's death was truly an accident, it's hard to fathom why Wade wouldn't immediately call for help. Wade has also just lied to police, or at the very least, he's leaving something integral out of this story. Given the 911 call reporting KJ's death, Wade had to have told someone about KJ's death.
He had her in the bathtub for a little while, and I don't think he's going to be very cooperative with you. Okay. So, most people are.
It turns out that Wade had no question in his mind about the identity of the mysterious caller who reported him to the authorities.
I only have one friend, which I only think the caller, and I'm not going to be upset with him. I'm probably going to take my ways and not just that's going to do it.
And Wade was right. The caller was his own best friend, Stephen Ryan Russ. Wade explained that after everything had happened, his only way to cope with KJ's death was to tell someone. So he confided in Stephen. But what he told him was so disturbing that Stephen couldn't keep it to himself. When police bring Stephen in for questioning, it's clear from the start he has reservations about speaking up.
Is this going to be in court? This could possibly be used in court, yeah. So where's he going to know about this? Here it goes. Alright, so the whole case came to light when we Central Dispatch got the call regarding Wade and KJ. Do you know about that call? Yes, I did. Did you place that call to Central Dispatch? Yes, I did. And what was that call in reference to?
My family was getting very scared of him, and it was to a point that they couldn't even sleep, so I had to do something.
Stephen continues, explaining the series of Facebook messages that turned his world upside down.
He said that he did something and that he can't talk to anyone about it. And I was like, well, I'm your brother, you can talk to me.
According to Stephen, Wade then explained that KJ had passed away unexpectedly, and he didn't report her death to the police.
He wanted us to help him move the body with the car, and we both told him no, that we can't do that. And I was like, you're one of my closest friends, and I'll keep your secret for you, but obviously I couldn't.
In interrogation, Wade tries to explain his choice to hide KJ's death, hoping to ease detective suspicions.
It's hard to feel like I can be honest with them. I feel like I go through scenarios all the time where I'm accused and
I can tell you we're not here making any accusation. We're just here to...
It's hard to try to know what happened. I didn't do the right action. I probably should have reported. I should have done something right. And I just felt like whatever I would have said would have just been taken the wrong way or said the wrong way.
By now, Wade knew he was in trouble. KJ's body was still in his apartment, and he needed it gone. Stephen eventually paid him a visit, and things only got worse.
He asked me if I wanted to see the body. I told him no. I really didn't want anything to do with it. I didn't even want to be in there because it felt like there was an elephant sitting on my chest.
When asked why Wade would keep KJ's body in the apartment, Stephen gave an answer that only hinted at the truth.
My guess is because he didn't have the means of getting rid of it.
I'm treating it right now as a good situation. I don't know what matters. What I'm saying is you want to be good.
Wade's desire to give KJ a proper burial is chilling, and his next comments stir up the eerie feeling that Wade desires some sort of control, a theme that will surface again soon. As disturbing as this story is, it's only the beginning of the sickening revelations, because Wade still isn't telling the full story.
At least when I'm out there, I didn't visit her. I went wandering out of, like, no one visit her. I don't know what you guys would do for now, but if I could know where she was buried, I'd love
to. Paper stuff.
The police then question Wade about what happened after he claims he found KJ dead, and he launches into a truly sickening timeline. But no no matter how shocking his revelations seem, they pale in comparison to what's to come when the truth is revealed.
So let's get back to our sequence of how things kind of played out and what happened. So wake up in the morning, she's in the bathtub, she's not breathing. What transpired from there?
It's not pretty, I'll say that. Seeing things that I can't unsee. Okay, so it took me a while to get some coolers. In the process of that, I would run cold water on her. And then I got some coolers, you know, like. I mean, you know a lot of detective shows, right?
Sure.
Also,
They're good.
Well, if you keep the body cold or something, maybe that comes over there. I don't know, maybe I'm thinking about that TV, right? I've seen the whole decomposition process. And so I'll come in and check on her, and I don't just pass, I still talk to her.
Okay.
Which makes it really,
I don't think there's something major there. It's no different than someone who goes to a great site and talks to one of your loved ones in the past.
first couple days, movable, right?
Alright.
Then to see like the blood kind of settle where she was laying on a little bit. And then after that, that's when I started seeing like black rock and clips. And small. And then she was pretty stiff for a little while. Because when she was laying at the top, she kind of laid like against the wall, I think, or something. But even after a while, the stiffness faded away. Laid on her shoulder.
Now, Wade was in a pickle. With a decomposing body in his bathtub and with Stephen's refusal to help him move it, it was only a matter of time until someone caught on. So, he hatched a plan. On April 12th, around 6 days after KJ's death, Wade saved up the money to buy a large cooler, air freshener, and 30-gallon trash bags.
So what happened at that point? You said that you bought one and then realized you needed a second. What do you mean by that?
I wanted to put it all on one, so she could be whole.
And then?
But I couldn't really move her in any kind of way to keep her whole. Nothing I could do to keep her remain whole. That's where it really got close.
So, is it a bloodbath in there? Or? What happened at that point?
Well, when I had to get the second cooler, I had to put her legs in that one. And I'm not gonna lie, that was the grossest thing ever.
And I guess help me understand how she was in one and her legs were in another.
I had to cut her legs so I could fit me out.
Okay, when you say that, you mean that her body was too big for the first cooler? So you couldn't fit her in the first cooler? And was she too stiff to be able to move her around to put her in the cooler?
If I could move her, I would have had her like knees up to her chest or something.
Couldn't.
When Wade couldn't fit KJ's body into one large cooler, he decided dismemberment was his only option. But he didn't exactly keep a low profile. Instead, he asked to borrow a saw from his neighbor Sherry, not an unusual request if it weren't for his bizarre explanation. According to Sherry, Wade claimed he needed the tool to cut his mattress in half. When he wasn't able to use someone else's saw, he purchased his own from a local supermarket and then got to work.
Where did you cut her legs at?
This is the most disgusting thing ever. Hopefully you never have to see something like this in your life. Ever. Alright, so here and then here. I started here, but then I realized her knees were still over the edge. So I had to go here too. What I would have wanted to do, except she was too heavy for me, is take her under the shower and wash her off, because after she passed on, she crapped herself. I was like, man, I didn't even know that until I got into the cooler.
The police working their way through Wade's apartment eventually confronted the sickening discovery hidden in his cooler.
Now remember, when we open this is something that we're never going to be able to unsee. Oh, yeah. Her head, her arms, her breasts. She's been gone for a while. Yep. See her legs are detached and it's above the knee. Yep. Bugs have made their way in. Yep. There's a large amount of food fly. Definitely female. Appears to be Caucasian. Naked, no clothes. Okay. Oh, yeah. And cut up.
Nice. Okay, now it stinks.
Well, so there's a lot more evidence in here somewhere.
It stinks.
Yeah, now it does.
The officers have only discovered part of what they believe to be KJ's body, but it won't be long before they find the rest.
Take a picture of that. So that's where it is. So we're going to move this.
Boy, drops it right in front of the suitcase.
So this cooler is what we think might have the other parts in it. I will lift it up. It is tied in a knot up here. I will cut right here. Yeah, those are her legs. I saw some toes and an ankle. Were you able to open that up? Yeah, there's two of them in there. Okay, it's probably the best place to puke.
From his apartment, authorities also collected clear safety goggles, rubber gloves, and several small items, including bungee cords, a black belt, and a white ribbon. This white ribbon, a seemingly innocuous discovery compared to the horrors already uncovered, would turn out to be a clue to the stomach-churning truth of what really happened to KJ.
Was her head attached?
Yeah.
She's
in the cooler.
Yeah.
This has basically went down like that.
That's all I seen was her arm and part of her chest. I just shed it
right here.
through the femur.
Authorities shift focus to the saw, which wasn't recovered from Wade's apartment during the initial search. Wade says that shortly after he dismembered KJ's body, he contacted a friend he knew through the local shelter system to negotiate a trade, a saw for a DVD player.
Was there a reason that he got rid of it, or just had it and didn't really need it, or and how did that whole thing play out with Bill?
He needed it. I needed a DVD player.
While Wade describes trading the saw as a casual, serendipitous event, police catch up with the man who received the saw, and he describes an entirely different scenario.
Like, he really just wanted to give it to me. I'm like, well, just wait till I bring you the DVD, because I don't like doing deals where, you know, I owe somebody, because then I got it on the back of my mind constantly. I have to, you know, I owe him. So I was like, just wait. He's like, no, here, just take it out.
Would you say that he was insisting that you take the saw?
Pretty much, yes, he was insisting. Because I even said, no, not right now.
Did you notice anything about the saw that was weird, different?
Just looking at the
and you could see, like in a serration, it looked like a chunk of something in there.
DNA testing of the saw blade did reveal the possibility of blood present, although further details could not be confirmed.
I mean, I'm not proud of anything at all. Sure, but stuff happens, and we just trying to get not how this should be. Like, I kept saying this word, like, this is not how you should have went. This.
Upon reflection, Bill explained this wasn't the only thing that seemed off when he was around Wade.
And then when you heard about Wade getting arrested, what was the first thought in your mind?
I didn't believe it. I'm like, because I've been hanging out with him. I freaked out because I was sitting on the cooler, and I didn't know. I smelled, like, you know, now I know what a dead body smells like, bag, and that smell was there. As soon as I walked in, it was dang. And I was just thinking, man, shit, that's nasty bottles or something. And that's what I honestly thought that was, but now I know that it was a body.
By now, the police are more than suspicious that the story Wade is telling them isn't the truth, but just what exactly he was hiding remained to be seen. Still, Sherry, Wade's neighbor, may have had some idea about what was really going on behind the closed door of Wade's apartment. In her interview, she recalled one of the few interactions she ever had with KJ. One day, she stopped by Wade's door to ask for coffee and was surprised when KJ greeted her at the door. Sherry didn't know it at the time, but as KJ peered out from behind the front door, she didn't have a stitch of clothing on. KJ agreed to send Wade over shortly. When he showed up on Sherry's doorstep, coffee in hand, he wasn't happy. According to Sherry, Wade admitted to forcing KJ to walk around their home naked, and by answering the door that day, she'd apparently crossed the line.
He said, she shouldn't have opened the door like that. I said, well, I didn't see anything. And he goes, I'm gonna have to get the belt out.
But back in the interrogation room, Wade doesn't do much to refute his neighbor's accusations. In fact, he expands on them.
You've never gone to jail for fighting somebody or pushing somebody or, well, any kind of domestic violence or anything crazy like that?
The domestic things in the past have been dismissed in court.
A pattern is beginning to emerge. While Wade admits fault in some instances, the admissions almost seem calculated, as if they're designed to distract from the larger questions at hand.
I said, if I hear any domestic violence, I'm going to call the police.
Sherry never called the police, but Wade eventually admits to the officers that he did hurt KJ.
I kicked her in the butt because I was ashamed of her cheating on me and such, and, you know, I shouldn't have, but I did. And then when I find out in court, she tried to blame the bruises of her ankles on me. I thought it had nothing to do with her ankle. It's false evidence. Because what happened was she fell down by the railroad, again, the balance issue, by the railroad tracks, and that caused the bruises from her ankles rolling.
Not from you kicking her though.
No.
Gotcha.
Report required. You want to just mention this body's house.
Guess she had reason for concern.
Soon, officers place Wade in a holding cell while they continue to investigate, and as if it were everyday conversation, Wade nonchalantly confirms his neighbor's allegations. Earlier, when Wade was first brought in, he contemplated his choice to hide KJ's death. Most disturbingly, despite knowing what the officers at his apartment were going to discover and knowing what he had done, he somehow still had an appetite to eat the cookies offered to him.
All right, Wade, so what I would like to know from you is, in your own words, what happened to Kelly Jean?
On the day I found her like that, if I had called it that, would there be a different outcome? Would it be anything different?
Yeah, I don't know. It just depends on, you know, when it was and all that.
His indifference was yet another subtle sign of the horrors to come, but still, no one can prepare themselves for the nauseating story that is eventually revealed.
When was the last time you used a belt on her?
A day or two before. But
before she died?
Yeah, but I couldn't cause that.
I wouldn't think it would. Why did you use a belt on her?
Because I have my own hands.
What did she do to deserve develop?
Her coming back type thing.
Okay, so it's punishment to her.
But that is my point. I started using the belt because I didn't want to use hands anymore.
Okay.
That's why I'm not saying that it's that much better, okay? I shouldn't be physical anyways.
Sherry had a different theory, one that was sickeningly close to the truth.
I never really saw her because I think that he was keeping her in there and not wanting anybody to see her.
By now, authorities know more than they're letting on, and with one question, they signal to Wade that his house of lies is about to collapse around him.
We're not going to find any belt marks around her neck, are we? That's just a question I got to ask.
I don't think you will, no.
What if we do?
I don't think you should be finding things.
With Wade's history of alleged violence, authorities are hoping for first-hand witnesses, and when they catch up with his most recent ex-girlfriend, Katie, they get more than they bargained for. Katie explained that she'd known Wade since childhood, and their relationship became romantic in 2018, just 1 year prior. But it was short-lived, ending abruptly after only 3 months.
So what happened that ended your guys' relationship?
Okay, so, my kids had just started school again, and I needed to be home with them, and so I couldn't do whatever he was asking me to do, like pick him up or something, and he ended up showing up here, but I hated my kids and I could not take him. And he started to fight out here, and I finally was like, okay, just get in the car, like, I'll take you just to get you away from me. And my kids were in the back seat, and he was in the front seat with me, and we were driving towards Kalamazoo, and he realized that I was going to leave him there. And he said something, and I just put my hand across. I didn't even touch him. I just was like, stop, like, just stop. My kids are right there, like, you're freaking out. And he told me that he would break my arm if I ever did that again. And so my daughter she's a diabetic, and she started, I didn't know at the time, but she was like, Mom, my sugar's going low. But she was just faking it to get back home. And
smart girl.
So I got us back here, my kids got in the house, I got away from him out of the car. And he's like, just get out in the car and take me. And I'm like, no, I'm not getting back in the car. And I put like a bicycle and a chair between us, and I wouldn't let him get close enough. He's like, no, I'm not going to hurt you. Just come here. Let's just figure this out. And I was like, no. You need to find like somewhere else to go, somewhere, like, get away from me. I don't want anything to do with you.
And before the detective leaves, she suggests something far more sinister may be at play.
If I wouldn't have ended things when I did, that would have been me. And that's terrifying to me.
As police slowly gather more pieces to this puzzle, a clearer picture starts to emerge. Authorities are ready to confront Wade. Unsurprisingly, Wade uses the opportunity to smooth over his story, but in the process, he trips up.
He says, well, why didn't she scream or anything? I've never seen that woman scream. Never. I've seen her probably maybe 4 times.
All your advice.
2 times. It was pain related. Like where she got hurt, she cried.
How'd she get hurt? Was it, did she cut herself bad, or was it a broken bone, or?
Just, I don't know, I don't even want to really talk about that. I just know that that's the only time I've ever seen her cry. It was twice out of pain, and twice when I left her alone.
You don't want to talk about it, because did you cause the pain to her? And you can be honest with me, it's all about getting everything off your chest.
When I understand, man. I just don't want to talk about it. That's it's not appropriate.
Ironically, despite Wade's claims here, he would eventually talk about this very subject, and it would be what law enforcement needed to break his case wide open. Soon the officer stands to leave the room. Sensing Wade's desperation, he presses a little more.
When you do the autopsy, what marks are we going to find that was from the scuffle between the two of you?
Well, like her lips might be messed up.
Why would her lips be messed up? Then you can speak to me, man. It's just between me and you.
It was not something that would cause her to go through. Like that night was a peaceful night. Okay, I want that very clear.
Well, we're getting somewhere now. Now I'm starting to see a little bit.
Before wrapping up, the officer gives Wade one last chance to come clean.
I got 30 seconds before I walk out of here, okay?
Okay.
So you look me straight in the eye and tell me that you're not the cause of her death.
No, I'm not.
While police know Wade isn't telling them everything, they never could have imagined the stories of depravity that would follow this interrogation. And eventually, KJ's autopsy would reveal a sickening story. After Wade was booked, the disturbing, stomach-churning truth was revealed. Authorities received statements from several of his cellmates requesting to speak with them. One by one, these men explained that Wade had shared every gruesome detail about what really happened to KJ. And proudly, what they revealed shocked everyone.
What a way to hell to tell you guys. Man, dude, this guy is... Well, let me just put it to you like this. He's a serial killer. He told us that he physically had this girl down on the bed with a white ribbon on her neck, watching the clock for 5 minutes until she was dead. And he brought her back to life.
If you recall, police found a ribbon while in Wade's apartment.
Some type of ribbon. And when he did, the torture that he put her through, oh, it's gross. It's disgusting.
This is only the beginning of the horrifying reveals. Although Wade's alleged jailhouse stories vary slightly, several of his cellmates agree on a few particularly gruesome details about what happened to KJ.
He told her, he says, you're going to die by someone that loves you and not somebody that hates you.
Curiously, investigators discovered that KJ's very last Facebook message was to Wade on March 18th, the same day she suddenly dropped all activity. The message read, I love you, you are mine, and I am yours forevermore. I know that you can't reply, but I wanted to tell you this every day. This ominous message was just the beginning.
And you said he brought her back? What do you mean by that? He gave her CPR. That dude needs to be put away for a long time.
As police interview cellmate after cellmate, they each build on the same story. And as they continue, what was already a tragic story evolves into one of pure, unbridled evil. According to the men housed with Wade, his sick actions may have started long before KJ's death. They claim Wade had a jealous and controlling streak, and as one cellmate tells it, KJ's life changed drastically after she confided in a mutual friend about her relationship troubles.
His friend had a conversation with him and said that Kelly had told his girlfriend that Wade was being rough with her as far as reality. Wade said that from that point on, he was furious because his matters weren't to be discussed with his friends that were personal. So he said he never let her go to whoever's house that was again. That from that day on, when he went to work, he started tying her up and placing her in the closet.
And if binding KJ alone in a dark closet for hours on end wasn't sickening enough, another inmate describes an unthinkably heinous act.
He gagged her with a screwdriver and a wash rag, and he would put a wash rag into a screwdriver and made it like a horse bit. That's when he would have to take the bit out of her mouth because he could wet the wash rag into her water. asked her, like, you keep her tied up longer than that after the tire. What was the purpose of that? So she couldn't yell and scream.
According to Wade's cellmates, KJ initially fought back against Wade's mistreatment. When she threatened to go to the police, Wade amped up his efforts to silence her.
Wade started coming after keeping her to where she couldn't go anywhere. Like, she didn't go outside, she didn't go nowhere.
It seems that Sherry had been right all along.
I think that he was keeping her in there and not wanting anybody to see her.
According to his cellmates, the truth behind KJ's death was so twisted, so unimaginably brutal, that it kept them up at night. In fact, after they heard Wade's latest retelling of events, the men took shifts sleeping, making sure there was always someone keeping an eye on him. His cellmate said that after Wade choked KJ to the brink of death, she lost her motor function, the ability to speak, and the ability to control her bowels and bladder. Then, she remained alive in this helpless state for around 2 weeks before her death.
He said he didn't know if it killed her, but he had to smack her and get her to come back. And I guess she never actually came back. She came back when she wasn't there. So, and that's, you know, I mean, but she wasn't coherent. You know, she never talked again to him, but she, you know, he got her to read again.
And in the meantime, according to another cellmate, she suffered unspeakably.
He said a couple times she went in there and just put his hand over her face and nose to see if he said if she had been dying, that she would have died.
According to another man housed with Wade, he even seemed to regard her suffering as an inconvenience for him.
And he said that she wouldn't eat if he was hitting her with the belt and trying to wake her up, but she wouldn't wake up.
Bit by bit, police are beginning to piece together the gut-wrenching reality of KJ's last days. While Wade claimed to have been attempting to feed her and care for her in her state of helplessness, this was a complete lie, and in fact, he was torturing her.
He got to the point where he was laying in bed one night, and he felt the need to take a torch that he had, and he said he burned her tongue and her nipples, so she would never shoot arousal from another male man. He said he even put her in a bathtub and dumped scalding hot water on her feet to see if she had any movement, but she wouldn't scream or nothing. He said it was so hot that he'd throw all the water and dump on his and approach his skin and everything like that. Since she was not bothered by it no more, he had to take her a step further to show her that when she wasn't alone, she wasn't wrong.
The informants say that this is precisely when Wade injured KJ to the point of her incapacitation and eventual death.
He said no matter what he did to her, she had no movement, and eventually she just passed on her own.
Somehow, even after KJ's death, the hellish scene in Wade's apartment wasn't over. In fact, according to his cellmate, he wasn't even close to finished with KJ. It was then that Wade sunk to a low so unbelievable that his cellmate struggled to find the words.
He warmed the body up and ventilation to it, whatever you want to call it. You know, that's just, I didn't, you know, I didn't take place, you know, I wasn't trying to hear any of that. It just, yeah, it rains and rolls right up. I mean, can we back up to that part? What do you mean he warmed the body up? In the tub, he would run the water up and then pull down cold water after he did whatever he did with it.
And according to another informant, Wade shared sick details about his horrific actions openly.
He was like, it was kind of rough at first. But her jaw just eventually opened up, and I just took advantage of it before I had to chop her up. It's like, whoa.
Meanwhile, as this nightmarish scenario took place, Wade's next-door neighbor Sherry started to notice a foul odor drifting into her own apartment.
But then, over the last 2 weeks, it keeps sitting there. I said, what is that smell? It smells like something died. Like something's dead. I thought maybe an animal or something. And he goes, well, there's a mouse in my wall. Maybe it died. First it smelled like gas, and it smelled like feces, and then it smelled like death.
It also seemed that the 5 or so weeks KJ's body was hidden in the coolers was no accident.
He was hoping that sitting in the totes for however long they kept her, in there that to decompose them up to the windshield side. There were bullets on her back and the reason for it. Wade told you that?
KJ's autopsy revealed multiple areas of bruising, including her chin, neck, and right ear. Her hyoid bone, situated at the top of the neck underneath the chin area, was fractured. This is considered a strong indicator of strangulation due to the rarity of fractures from other types of trauma. Ultimately, her death was ruled as a homicide by unspecified means.
You would sit and watch criminal reads and talk about if I had it all, I wish I watched this and I would have done it differently. The way he talked seemed like he has done it before.
According to his cellmates, it was Wade's total lack of remorse, even bragging, that set them off the most.
It's not a fair man, he's just laughing about it. And he can talk about it like it's nothing to it. I mean, he jokes about it, and he works on a police report, and most people, if you're interested in reading something that way, you'll read it. And it's just, it's a guy when he had me, and he said he loved the girl. I mean, he can love somebody when do this kind of stuff to him, man.
One cellmate explained that, in addition to Wade's sick, unmerciful behavior, he was so proud of his actions that he felt he deserved notoriety. He nicknamed himself Chops, and he even hoped to write a book.
I know he said what would really matter? Her parents and nobody wanted her.
Despite Wade's claims, KJ did have a family, one that was concerned about her well-being and wanted to see her be happy in life.
Somebody needs to stand up for that lady, right? You know, and she has family. And that's good to know, you know. And I gotta get the emotional part of it, you know. I feel for that, and I feel for her family. But I completely agree, so do I. And, yeah, I'm just happy that I got to talk to you.
Sherry expressed her horror that she didn't see this coming.
I didn't think he could do something like that. Mm-hmm. But you don't know people. I mean, Ted Bundy, everybody liked him, too.
When Wade's case went to trial, the first two searches of Wade's apartment were deemed unconstitutional on the grounds that Wade may have felt threatened during his detainment. It was also discovered that police officers falsely claimed to notice an odor coming from Wade's apartment in their reports. These claims were later recanted. Although Wade's defense aimed to suppress evidence obtained as a result of these initial searches, the appellate court ultimately ruled against them, stating that the discovery of the coolers was inevitable with a warrant, which at that point was already justified. In 2023, Wade was convicted of murder in the second degree, as well as mutilation of a dead body. He pled no contest and was sentenced to 39 to 60 years in prison. But Wade's brutality didn't stop with KJ. He was also convicted of third-degree criminal conduct after assaulting a fellow inmate in 2020. Once he discovered that his cellmates had spoken to police, he attacked one of the men.
Okay guys, I'm gonna shut it down. As always guys, like, share, comment, subscribe. Until then, we shall see you all later.